This Technicality episode is brought to you by Brilliant.org. Hey guys, I've been traveling through Europe for the past couple of weeks, let's get technical. A bit ago, I made a guest video for Mike Boyd, who has an excellent channel where he learns new skills. Almost 1,000 people applied, I was one of the 18 finalists, and while my video wasn't one of the 3 selected to actually be on his channel, Mike quite liked the video nonetheless and encouraged me to upload it to mine. So here you go, this week I learned glassblowing. The other day, I was talking on the phone with my grandmother, and she told me that my great-great-grandfather was a glassblower. In 1912, he immigrated from Belgium to America, specifically a city called Lancaster in Ohio. Lancaster is nicknamed the Glass City, and for good reason. In the 1900s, Lancaster was bopping when it came to the glass-making industry, with many French and Belgian glassworkers moving there to work for a company called Anchor Hawking. When I learned this, I was instantly intrigued, and I thought it would be really cool to follow in my great-great-grandfather's footsteps. This week, I learned glassblowing, and this is day 1, hour 0. Let's take a trip. Because I have no idea where to start, I decided to go to somewhere and to someone that does.
My name is Treg Silkwood. I'm going to be instructing you to work with glass.
Treg has been glassblowing for 25 years, and in that time he's made some pretty amazing stuff. If anyone can teach me glassblowing, he can. He works here at the Bay Area Glass Institute, a non-profit public access glass studio in San Jose, California. Okay, so I have 3 milestones: to make a flower, to make a cup, and to make a bowl. Let's start with the first one. I'm going to make a flower right now when I have absolutely no glassblowing knowledge, and then I'll make another one at the end of the session to see how I've improved. However, before I made a flower, I would naturally need to learn about the tools I would use to make a flower.
This is called the gaffer's bench. Gaffer is the lead person in the glassblowing team.
Cool.
You'll be the gaffer this evening. We use our left hand to rotate the iron back and forth. This balances the glass. We turn in relationship to how the glass is moving. As far as the hand tools go, this is called the jacks. The jacks is our primary shaping tool. Cool. We can use the blades, the side of the blades, even the strap of the handle to shape the glass. Put our hand on the handle, we bring it up. We call this the psycho-stabbing position. We have a pair of tweezers, albeit a large pair of tweezers. You can see where it's heat tarnished. You won't want to grab right behind that. If you grab back here, you won't have the strength to bend the spring. A pair of diamond shears, good for cutting round bits of glass. A pair of straight shears for cutting glass. You don't expect to cut glass, but when it's hot, it's more or less like a thick fabric until it cools down, then it's hard like a rock. In the bucket behind us, we have a wooden tool called the block, and we'll use this to shape and form the glass. It's helpful to hold way up near the cup versus way back here. This is made out of cherry wood, where we use cherry wood because it's a very fine-grained wood with a low resin content, and it's kept soaking in water, so it creates a layer of steam between the glass and the tool. The glass is melted in our furnace, which is this lovely apparatus over here. The furnace melts the glass around 2,000 degrees. So inside is a big vat of about 500 pounds of molten glass.
That furnace is about the same temperature as the magma deep inside a volcano. That is crazy hot.
We pull it out on these long irons. These are called blowpipes and punties. Blowpipes, as the name suggests, are hollow. Punties are solid.
When they're not being used, you can see they're in fire right there. The glass will only stick to things that are over 1,000 degrees, so the rods need to be preheated. That's why after working with the glass for a while, you need to dip your tools in the water so the tools don't get too hot and stick to the glass.
We have an apparatus over here called the glory hole. That's the heating chamber, and we'll be going in there to get the glass soft and malleable. Once we're finished making the projects, we're going to put them into what's called the annealing oven. One of these metal boxes you see over here. They're around 1,000 degrees, and all the pieces we make are going to cool down overnight.
Now that I knew all the tools, it was time to make my first flower. Treg walked me through the process, we did a dry run, and then it was time to start.
And then I'm going to come in and snip it. Alright, I'm going to take this from you. You can let go.
And that was it. It didn't really look like a flower, and more of a chewed up leaf. At the end of the video, I'll try again and see if I can do better.
Okay, Treg's about to show me some of his glass making skills.
Alright, so the glass came out of the furnace, 2,100 degrees right now. I'm going to use my tweezers, just going to warm up the tips. It only took 2 minutes and 20 years to make.
He just made that worse in the time it takes me to brush my teeth. That's incredible.
It was then time for me to move on to my second milestone, making a cup.
I have a blowpipe this time. It's hollow. I'm going to start by getting some glass, and then I'm going to shape it up and blow a bubble into it. I'm going to be using this metal table over here called the marver, which is going to shape and cool the glass. I have some molten glass here. When I cool it, the skin of the glass starts to cool down and stiffen up. Heat and gravity are our primary shaping tools. So I negate gravity by turning the rod on center, which takes quite a bit of time to develop that skill. Now I kind of feel it. We're going to blow through the pipe. We're going to create a bubble. Wow. And now we're going to allow this bubble to cool down, and we'll get another layer of glass over the top.
Glass blowing is like onions and ogres. They all have layers. You can't just go into the furnace and get all of the glass you want because pipes and punties can only hold so much. You gotta get a bit of glass, shape it a bit, and then go in for more. The cup, for example, had 2 layers of glass. For the cup, I decided to be a little saucy and throw some color in there, which led me to ask, how does colored glass work? To get different colors in glass, you add different metallic oxides. For example, the colors I chose for the cup were dark blue, which is made from cobalt oxide, and green, which is made from chrome oxide and iron oxide. To implement the color, we use these little sort of color chips made by companies in Germany, New Zealand, and the US, which you physically roll your glass into, put in the glory hole for a bit, and then you've got colored glass. Okay, on to making the drinking glass. One thing you notice when glass blowing is the way glass acts. When you first get it out of the furnace, it's incredibly fluid, kind of like maple syrup. You've got to keep the rod spinning continuously, something that's way easier said than done. But then, tragedy struck. The cup broke.
Boy howdy.
So apparently what just happened is the cup needed to be transferred from one rod to another to open the mouth up. And to do that, we take a drop of glass on the new rod and stick it to the bottom of the cup. However, it wasn't sticking.
Clear glass isn't sticking.
Press F to pay respects. So I did the whole thing over, and now I'm back to where I left off. With that milestone completed, let's move on to making a bowl.
Okay, I'm starting to get the hang of this now.
It's a very escapist art form.
Yeah, no kidding, it's incredibly relaxing.
Because you have to be focused on it. You can't be doing a laundry list of other things.
Yeah.
And to do it well.
You'll notice that the bowl kind of ended up with this cool curvy shape around the rim. Well, that's because Treg spun the bowl into a plate, and when it fell, there was no structure, so it just kind of draped over those points. Once again, gravity is a useful tool. It is time to make the second flower, and this one I'm gonna do with no help from Treg, all on my own. Let's see how this goes.
Another thing you'll notice is that glass blowing doesn't have a ton of glass blowing. Your breath is just another tool you have to work with along with everything else. A better name is just glass working. So, moment of truth. How'd it turn out? Well, here's the first flower alongside the new flower. I would show them physically side by side, but the first one was so bad that we didn't even keep it. Here's all 3 of the things I made, and to be honest, these turned out way better than I expected. In just 2 hours, I went from total scrub to the creator of some pretty dope glassware. Glass blowing was a really amazing experience. I explored an art form that's incredibly fun and rewarding. I can see why Treg made it his career, and why my great-great-grandfather did too. The first thing to do once you make a glass cup is to fill it up halfway and put a cork in it. Naturally, yeah, of course, that's what we all do. However, you'll notice that the cork will always move towards the side of the half-filled glass. Why does this happen? Well, the cork will always float on the highest point, and that highest point is going to be on the edge of the glass, because the water sort of grasps to the side, creating a convex shape. See, breaking something down into its core concepts makes it easier to understand, doesn't it? I'll leave this bonus question for you to figure out. How can we make the cork float in the center as opposed to the side? Let me know in the comments down below what you think. This question is straight from Brilliant.org, which is a phenomenal way to learn math, science, and technology. What I love about my audience is how you share my thirst for knowledge knowledge and learning. It's amazing I found such a dope group of people who are also excited to learn all sorts of new things just like me. That's why I've partnered with Brilliant.org to give you all a special offer. Brilliant.org is a problem-solving website that teaches you how to think like a scientist. You master concepts by solving fun, challenging problems to deeply understand those concepts, so it's perfect for those who are naturally curious and love to learn. If you want to continue to feed that curiosity and support Technicality at the same time, go to brilliant.org/technicality, link in the description, and sign up for free today. And also, the first 200 people that use that link will get 20% off the premium subscription. Go forth and learn. Oh, and in case you missed it, Twitter locked me out of my account for a month on the basis that I was too young for Twitter. So that was fun. Luckily, I have it back now. So follow me there for high IQ thoughts. Like, music is just wiggly air. And the Discord has been growing a ton, which is amazing. I encourage you to check that out. I'll put a link in the description. Thank you to all my patrons over at patreon.com/technicality, especially these awesome people. Thanks for watching DFTBA, and explore on.